Today we're going to do things a little bit differently. I normally tell stories that may or may not be true about the Darknet. But today, this true crime report may not be suitable for all audience members. Discretion is advised. Although it is getting more difficult for people to commit crimes on the internet, it still does happen. Most of the time, these crimes are right out there on the surface web. If you're not familiar with the term surface web, then realize you are most likely reading or listening to this on the surface web right now. This is part of the web visible to all who are not blocked by a filter put up by your company or if you are using an access point. It is typically not on Tor, although some companies do put their corporate sites on the dark web. They are not generally on the deep web. Most websites you visit every day, such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Fox, CNN, your local news channel, etc., are all on the surface web. Surface websites typically have a TLD, or rather known as top-level domain, such as a .com or .org, and are found in search engines. If they are properly programmed, then any browser can access them. The deep web is a website that isn't indexed by a major search engine, but can be found by either IP or a domain name. The dark web requires a special network called the Onion Network, and a special browser called Tor. The deep web and the surface web are typically part of the same network and can be accessed by most normal software, such as Chrome, Edge, or Safari, and the deep web needs special software. There are many different videos and websites that talk about this, so if you want more information, it is out there. That is not the purpose of this video. The whole point is to say that unfortunately predators are on all three, and if you are a parent, or you care about yourself and your kids, then you need to realize these creeps are everywhere. They're even hiding out on your favorite social network, such as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. The stories I'm about to tell you are about predators of the worst kind. I mean, all predators are bad news, but these creeps go after the most defenseless of humans. They set their sights on our children. These predators are everywhere from teaching schools and entertaining kids to living in the house next door to you. Always know what your children are doing online. I don't care if you think your kids need their privacy. Always know who they are speaking to and how. Always have a copy of their passwords. You'll see why in these short articles I have for you. A disgusting dark web pedo is murdered in prison. There are people who claim that the dark web either doesn't exist or is a safe place for people because of their ability to hide from the tyrannical governments. While this might be true, the dark web is a place where criminals and pedophiles hang out because they can move around places on the internet to harm children and teach others of their practices. And the likes of Richard Huckle, who is a British pedophile who admitted to 71 offenses of molesting children from ages 6 months to 12 years from 2006 to 2014, and who also admitted to using the dark web to teach others how to target and groom children. He would brag about these children and tell people he hit the jackpot after abusing a 3-year-old girl whom he considered as loyal as a dog. She was just one of the 200 young children they believed he abused. On his computer, authorities found more than 20,000 obscene pictures of both boys and girls that he had taken during his trips. He used not only the trust in the parents and children by being the teacher of these innocent victims, but also used the dark web to boast about his crimes and planned to sell his guide on abusing children on the dark web. Whether or not the pedophile website was a dark web or a deep website where he posted his sick, disgusting game pedo points, I am not sure. but he created it to award points to the depravity of children from basic to hardcore. He even tried to use crypto to crowdfund his sick perversion by collecting funds after posting pictures of a 3-year-old child in ways that I will not discuss here and am probably not even allowed to. As the details of his various charges make me want to vomit, I will not be repeating all of them here, but I will tell you that they involve rape, assault, grooming, and child pornography. Huckle was found murdered in his cell in July of 2022 while serving a minimum 25-year sentence. This is one creep who will never be using any internet service to harm another child again. Unfortunately, there are many more out there. As you can see, people use the dark web to hide their crimes because they are basically anonymous. Although it is getting easier for people on the dark web to be traced, and the examples show why. A 4,000-member dark web child porn site was taken down recently. A dark web site called the Boys Town platform with more than 4,000 members was finally busted in May of 2021. The dark website, which is thought to have started in 2019, was considered one of the world's biggest child porn darknet platforms. Perverts used the site to exchange pictures and images of children. German privacy rules have not allowed us to know the names of the suspects, but the two main people on the site are ages of 41 and 65, and they have been charged with spreading and producing child pornography and sexual abuse of the children. 2 other men, a moderator and an active user, were also arrested. The moderator and one of the owners of the site were also charged with sexually abusing children. As of April 2022, there is no indication of when or how the case will go to trial. The investigation of other suspected members of the platform continue. Do these crimes against kids ever end? Chat rooms and messenger apps are also often used on the surface web, as well as the dark and the deep web. This pedo-puppeteer used chats and forums to plan kidnapping and abusing children. In May of 2012, police in Kansas arrested a Kansas man by the name of Michael Arnett for keeping child porn on his computer and trading it with other perverts, as well as conspiring in graphic discussions of kidnapping and sexually abusing, murdering, and even eating children. One of those chatters was a Florida man by the name of Ronald William Brown, who was sentenced to 20 years plus a lifetime of supervised release. These two, as well as others, exchanged illegal and lewd pictures of children and discussed inappropriate acts, murder, and cannibalism of the children. Both had pictures of the children on their computers, including deceased kids. What system these men used to discuss their devious plans, of that I am not sure, but I know for a fact that perverts try to attract children over websites such as Facebook and Facebook Messenger, as well as Twitter quite often. We all know that even politicians have been busted using Twitter messaging to chat with the younger crowd. Remember Anthony Weiner? In 2016, a man from Columbus by the name of Levante Taylor, who was 24 at the time, tried to use Facebook to entice a child under the age of 14 to meet him for sexual favors. During a sting in New Jersey, 21 men were arrested for using social media to try and lure children for sex. Some of them had already previously been arrested and were on the list for Megan's Law. I have seen these horrendous predators online on Facebook, setting up groups and exchanging pictures of kids. The administrator of a specific group, a pedophile who is known throughout the paranormal world as being a pedophile, and has been kicked from groups many times, knows just enough to keep what he does somewhat legal, so he doesn't get booted or arrested. Yet, the members of his group were offering to buy and sell some of the children. The group had been reported to Facebook, the FBI, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children many times by different people, and was finally removed from Facebook. Unfortunately, he still exists on Facebook, and they seem to have no intention of removing him ever. It is people like this man and his desire to normalize such fiendish and illegal behavior who are a danger to society. This is a short list of predators who use all levels of the internet to get to kids in the worst of ways. Please, be careful and watch your children wherever they go, and keep a tab on their online activities. It is never bad to know their passwords and private information. You are not invading their privacy, you are protecting them from predators. Let them know that you trust them, but you do not trust the predators and the groomers. Teach them about these people. These creeps are crafty and will make themselves look innocent and nice. They're not. Do not trust anyone with your children. If stories of the Darknet interest you, subscribe to my channel. I bring you stories of the Darknet, the dark web, the deep web, social media, and other places where criminal activity happens. The stories can be sent in by listeners or even written by me. Usually they are anonymous. We don't know if they're true or not unless I have found the information on the web in a police report, and I will actually tell you when that happens. So please do subscribe to my channel so you can get more information about what is going on in the darkness of the internet.